Hey guys, I'm Chewy Mew and welcome to my channel, but more specifically, welcome to another Chewy Mew review, where in the past review I ranked the Sinister Six box set from favorites to least favorite. And now we're going to be taking a look at the, hang on, what did I do? I pressed a button and I don't know what happened to the camera there, it kind of like froze. But today we're going to be taking a look at a Toybiz Spider-Man figure. I don't remember where this came from. I don't remember what package this was in, but it is the Spider-Man 2 figure. I think this was the figure that came with the. It was like you get Spider-Man, you plug a thing into his back. It was like part of the train where you have Doc Ock's tentacles reaching around him. I think that's where it was from. Also, I've got the Sinister Six box set Spider-Man. After the previous review, I'm going to set him back on the shelf there. But yeah, here we've got this Spider-Man. This is like one of my only Spider-Man 2 figures. The other Spider-Man 2 figure I customized into a black suit Spider-Man for the like Raimi trilogy style. But now we've got this guy. Look up on the face, or close up on the face there. The spider. You see all the texturing. It's just like the texturing in the Raimi movies. This feels like a step up from the first movie. Like as far as articulation, as far as appearance, I feel like this one looks much more like the way Tobey Maguire did in the trilogy. Like I feel like this figure looks the most as like Tobey Maguire did in the actual movie. Compared to the other ones, this one has like the most close accurate body to his. The one thing I don't like about these figures is when you look at the legs, they don't look too blue. They look more like on the black side. When you I don't know, when you look at them from some angles, it looks kind of blue, but most times it looks black. Like it's way too dark to be blue. One thing on mine is with playing with this one, the leg kind of looks like it's sticking out a little bit. I compared this joint to this joint. This one was kind of like sticking out more. So when you stand the figure up, he's kind of taller on one side compared to the other. Stand up straight there. You can see he's kind of leaning that way a little bit more. I don't know. It's not too noticeable, but to me it just kind of bugs me. Some spots the webbing does get kind of messy, but like painting into these areas on the fingers, I expect it to get kind of messy. You know, it's really tiny, really small fingers there. My only issue with this figure is that he's bigger compared to other movie figures. Like I've got this Doc Ock here, and Spider-Man's quite a bit taller than him. I'm also going to be reviewing this guy probably in the next video, or maybe the one before. I don't know. Depends how I upload them. You can see more detail there on the foot. And of course, because it's like become a thing on my channel at this point, you can see the bottom of the foot. It says trademark Marvel Entertainment. On the other foot, it says Made in China. Made in China 2004. I don't know, it says CPU. I'm not too sure what that means. Or CPH? I can't really tell. But, you know, that doesn't matter too much. On mine, the legs, they don't feel loose, but they feel, I don't know, something about them, they feel kind of loose. I'm not too sure what it is. It doesn't have any thing in the torso because the gimmick, how you plug it in, and the head doesn't have any neck stuff or anything. On the back, I really like the design of the spider. I like how they improved the design of the spider from the first movie to the second and third. How they made the spider much bigger. The only thing is it's got this big bump thing sticking out of his back and those two holes next to the spider. Because I think it was that one where you plug the thing into his back and you plug it into the back and I think his eyes glowed or something. I think his eyes glue. I feel dumb for saying that. That's not a word. His eyes, I think they're transparent. Like it's kind of like the other Spider-Man figure where you plug him into this thing, you light it up, and his eyes light up too. Because I think the figure is probably hollow, but if you put it up to a light, the same thing doesn't happen. But this was like my definitive Spider-Man 2 figure. Also love how big they made the spider. In Spider-Man 2 and 3, the spider's big. Like look how big that spider looks. On the first one, it's much smaller, but I do prefer the eyes of the first movie. The painting is really nice on this one. Like it does look kind of messy, like on the hands and on the feet. It looks good, but on the hands, like if you look here on the inside, looks a little messy. It's not bad, but just looks kind of I don't know, kind of funky. Something about it just looks like there's too much paint here or something. But on like the torso and stuff, on the arms, the legs, it looks great. You can see his boots there too. Just keep showing him. Looks very good. Definitely very nice looking figure. I just wish that he was a little shorter. That's like my only gripe with this figure. His knees kind of feel loose here. Like this knee feels loose. This one feels kind of loose too. So when I try standing him up like this, he bends back a bit. I played with this one. I didn't play with this one too much. I played with the Spider-Man 1 movie figure more. But this guy, I still played with him quite a bit, but not nearly as much. Like, none of the figures I've played with anywhere close to this guy. This guy I played with by far the most out of all my figures. And that's why he looks pretty crazy damaged like that. But all of these figures I still played with a lot. This guy just, I played with him a lot. I played with him mainly with the Doc Ock. I didn't play him with the Green Goblin because even as a kid, to me, it was like, I don't want to use a Spider-Man 2 figure with a Spider-Man 1 figure. To me, something about that just felt off to me. I don't know why. Yeah, I also didn't like using the Spider-Man 1 figure with like Venom or Sandman from Spider-Man 3. To me, something about it just felt like, no, those figures don't mix together. Like, I don't know, something weird with me. Also, his hand here is kind of loose, which I don't know why this one's loose, but this one's not. Sometimes with these older figures, you just get like a joint that's just loose for some reason. But it looks very clean. Like the texturing on this on the side, very nice texturing. I kind of like when like, yeah, you don't get the like the mid torso crunch or anything. You don't get like he can't look up, he can't look down. But sometimes not having that, it doesn't break up the mold, and it looks good. Like to me, that looks very human. Like compared that to like this guy, the Sinister Six box set, he does look human, but you can tell like this guy, there's no joints. On this one, you can see the joints, and something about this one looks accurate. Like Toby in the movies doesn't have he's not crazy buff, and this figure doesn't look crazy buff. You don't see like his pectorals or stuff sticking out. It looks just like, kind of like a flat, lean body, and I like that look. To me, that looks good. And the head sculpt too, I feel like it looks just like his face from the movies, and I think that's awesome. I think this figure is really, really well done. All the Spider-Man 2 figures look really awesome. They look pretty good. The ones with no articulation. The one, the super crazy articulated one, which I wish I had. That one has articulation here, and to me, the torso doesn't look too accurate. The costume looks accurate, but it doesn't look too much like Tobey Maguire. This one, when I look at this one, I can see Toby in this, like I'm like, holy crap, is Toby's face in that mask? I'm joking, but looks awesome still. Let's go over his articulation. The head rotates all the way around. The torso doesn't have any articulation here, but he does have a very good waist swivel. In that, I mean, it goes all the way around. He has like this joint where it goes out like this. I'm not too sure what this is called, but that's pretty cool. This one goes a lot. This one moves in a lot more. This one gets kind of stuck. Like when you pull them, you have to pull this one quite a bit more to make it come out. The arms rotate all the way around. The elbow, it goes all the way up. Rotation here in the upper bicep. Double bend in the elbow. Rotation at the start of his glove. Hinge in the wrist. And you can do the two hands for the thwipping webbiness. The legs kick up pretty good, and by having this big of gap in the joints, you can kick it up higher than most of them. And of course, he can do the splits, because of course Spider-Man can do the splits. Rotation here above or below the leg joint. I forgot what some of these things are called. Double bend in the knee, rotation here in the boot. I think he has a hinge. No, he doesn't have a hinge. The foot goes forward and goes back that much, and he has a bend in the toe that goes down and goes up pretty good. But overall, I think this is definitely a great figure. Like some of these figures, having so many Spider-Man figures, I sometimes don't know how to pose them, Like the ones that are super crazy articulated, I can pose them a lot more, but ones like this, I typically resort to posing him something kind of like this, I don't know. Something like that. But either way, that's going to go for this review. Let me know what you think about this figure in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Let me know if you think it looks like Tobey Maguire. I think it looks like Tobey Maguire a lot because you got the kind of muscular arms and legs, very accurate looking head sculpt, and the torso, without the articulation, it looks kind of like, I feel like it looks like Tobey's body a little bit. Might just be me, but I feel like it kind of looks like him. Like, it's not, a little chunky, but to me, it just looks good. But yeah, that's going to go for this review. Let me know what you think about this guy in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next review. Woo!